Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Southern California, and today is Monday, September 16th. I'm in the mood for Christmas, and so I am starting on my Christmas cards. In fact, I'm doing them assembly line, and I would say I'm at least halfway done or more. So let me show you how I got inspiration for this. One of my customers called me and told me that she wanted to make this card. And I thought, I don't know what that is, so let's look. So it's on page 31, and it's Nests of Winter, and this is the die right there. Well, I don't have that bundle. However, I do have the Mediterranean Blooms bundle, so I just put that over that little tree, Love, Peace, and Joy, and I thought, this might just have some possibilities. So I went ahead and ordered this set. It's called Festive Words on page 53 out of the fall catalog. All right, so let's make the card. All right, so I'm using the thick white cardstock. I really prefer that for my card bases because it's nice. It has a lot of weight to it, and I just like it. So we'll score. Use our bone folder to get a really nice crease. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now, in order to stamp this, let me get the right plate on here. We're going to need a stamparatus or some type of a tool that allows you to re-stamp in the same position. Okay, so here's what I did. I just took copy paper out of my copier and folded it, and I put it where I thought I wanted it, up, too far to the left, too far to the right, too far up, too far down. So I did it several times until I got it right where I wanted it. Then, once you get it where you want it, now you can put your real card in. It's like if you don't do that, you're gonna waste a lot of time and a lot of cardstock. And I wasn't interested in wasting either one. So I'm gonna be using Shaded Spruce. Let me move this up a little bit. Shaded Spruce ink and Shaded Spruce cardstock. I might be able to get away with one time, but I'm going to stamp it twice just to make sure. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now we have our card ready. Oops, let me take this out, because in a minute I'm going to show you how I'm going to put the centerpiece in. Okay, so now we're ready for the Mediterranean Blooms frame. And this is what happens when you run it through your machine. You have to determine how many times you need to run it in order for it to be successful. But something that's very, very important that I just learned this summer is that you want to, when a die is very intricate, there are a couple of things you need to know. One is you need to turn it upside down and put it on and turn it. I knew about turning it at an angle, but I didn't know the upside down part. So watch that. I ran mine through normally twice. Okay, now I'm going to make a mess. Oh boy. Yes, yes. Okay, so then we'll just go ahead, take this out, nice and clean. Okay, so we have a nice clean die cut to go over. And then when you're ready to put it on again, see there's nothing, there's one. Okay, now when you're ready to put it on again, just eyeball it, line it up, and then turn it upside down, put it at an angle, and put your top plate on. Now the other thing that you need to do, at least every 10 cards, you need to take a piece of wax paper that's wadded up, and you need to do this. If you don't do it, it's going to be much more difficult for your cardstock to pop out easily. So put on the wax paper, eyeball it, put it at an angle, and run it through. And you will be very successful. I'm sure every machine has the pressure points just a little bit different. So you have to determine how many times you need to run it through on your machine in order to get it easily, cutting out easily. Okay, now let's put on our frame. So I'm going to put on a good bit of adhesive because there's so many little pieces to this die that stick out, and I don't want them sticking up or getting caught when somebody's looking at their card. Okay, so now let's see if we can get this on nice and straight. Okay. That looked pretty good. Yes, okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so now we're ready for our little star. Let me show you again where my star is. And look at this. This must be 30 years old. It still works, but it's very hard to work. So I am going to be looking for another star punch, either from Michael's or online or something that's the same size, because that is going to be so hard on my hand if I have to use that one. Okay, so let's put our star on. Then I'm going to bring my rhinestones out. And you're going to have to dedicate, unless you have a better way to do it. I'm just coloring 5 of these at a time. But once I get serious, I'll probably color the whole thing. And it's going to ruin your marker. This is cherry cobbler, so just be prepared to order a new cherry cobbler marker. And then I'm going to keep my card that I'm working on right beside one that's finished, because I don't want to have to rethink where am I going to put the rhinestones. So I'm just going to copy exactly what I did, because I know I like the placement. You know that feeling of, oh, I don't want to have to keep recreating the wheel. Okay, so here we go. Oops, I even got one that's not colored. Not sure how that happened. Okay, mister. I have to save you for another time here. Of course, getting it off my finger and back onto there. Well, okay. All right. Okay, so now we need to stamp the inside. And I'm taking my Stamparatus again, and I'm going to turn it this way. Open up my card. Again, I've marked it. And did I already say this? I'm just doing this assembly line. So I've already stamped all of my trees. I'm doing quite a few cards. I've already stamped all of my trees. I've already cut all of the spruce, shaded spruce for the front. And the next thing I'll do is probably put on the actual stars. And, you know, I'm just doing it one piece at a time. And before you know it, boom. Now, this particular greeting comes from this set, Shepherd's Care. This one says, praying that you will feel the Good Shepherd's care in this season and throughout the coming year. That is a very, very nice greeting. And it's even a Christmas greeting. And it goes well with the shepherd, but since I'm not using the shepherd, I kind of liked this one. Wonderful Counselor, Prince of Peace, Mighty God, Everlasting Father. And the Shepherd's Care is on page 56 of the fall catalog. So that's what I'm using. And it's just that simple, okay? So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. And it is a really simple card. Just do it assembly line. And before you know it, you've got your Christmas cards made. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll look forward to having you back again next time.